I think we can all agree that our lives are not always sunshine and butterflies. We are not always having a good time, as our lives are constantly full of ups and downs. We go through many different seasons of life, with some that have us thanking the Lord for all of His blessings, and other seasons that might have us questioning if we're actually on God's bad side. Unfortunately, we have all gone through times of suffering at some point in our lives and have had to navigate our way through it. So, let me tell you of my pretty recent experience in warfare. It wasn't spiritual warfare, although it kind of felt like it, and looking back, it might have been. But anyways, I was at war with bedbugs. I hadn't run into these little critters before, and honestly wasn't totally sure they actually existed. However, now I can confidently tell you that I do not want to ever see them or deal with them ever again. It started probably 9 to 10 months ago when I began to notice some blood stains beginning to pop up on my sheets. As I shrugged them off for months and months, they began to grow and spread, and I just kept assuming that they were from random bloody noses at night or little cuts on my hands. However, 2 months ago, I began to notice a gnarly rash starting to spread on my chest, my arms, and my back. It didn't itch, so again, I just shrugged it off and assumed it was like heat rash from the shower. Finally, I put it all together. Thanks to finding some suspicious blood on the wall and some research from my mom, I landed on the harrowing truth. I was infested with bedbugs, and thus the war began. As I began to fight back, I cannot stress how disgusting and disturbing this was. As I lifted up my mattress, I found the hundreds of little bedbugs in the cracks and crevices of my wooden bed frame. There were blood splatters scattered around where they were crushed by the mattress, and they of course were identical to the ones on my sheets. I took the pillowcases off my pillows and found them crawling and burrowing into the corners and lining. I was horrified as I realized that they had been all over me in my sleep, sucking my blood for months and months without resistance. Oh, it still gives me the shivers just thinking about it. Just so gross. Anyways, in order to win this battle, I had to take some drastic measures. Someone who works with me in my office forced me to go home one day and immediately throw out my mattress, which was smart, so thank you for that. But then I also had to throw out my bed frame, thoroughly wash all of my sheets, my blankets, all the clothes underneath my bed, and spray so much of my room. It was a long and tiring process, and thankfully my dad came up one day to help me out with all of it. Now through this, I of course started to get pretty discouraged. I had already got some pretty frustrating news earlier in the week, and now this was just pushing me over the edge. My attitude became pretty poor, and it was getting difficult to control and manage, and I, without a bed of course, was then forced to sleep on the ground for weeks, and the suffering continued. Now I don't tell you about my struggles for the pity or to let you know how bad I had it. Instead, I tell you from the other side and encourage you that when we go through suffering, go through it with Christ. We're going to face hardships in life, so why wouldn't we want God on our side? We're going to face things that don't seem to have a lesson or fit in with the bigger plan. I surely didn't see a moral of the story when I was at war with bedbugs. I guess it was a lesson in patience or maybe having thicker skin. I don't know. Anyways, 1 Peter 4:14 through 16 says, "If you are insulted because of the name of Christ, you are blessed, for the Spirit of glory and of God rests on you. If you suffer, it should not be as a murderer or a thief or any other kind of criminal, or even as a meddler. However, if you suffer as a Christian, do not be ashamed, but praise God that you bear that name." Be thankful that you have God on your side. Don't be angry that He's brought you into this hardship. Trust that He can get you through because He can. We may not see it immediately, but there's always a path through His love. I had to trust in Him that I could defeat the evil bedbugs, and still have to trust that I actually won and that they're really gone, and I'm not just going to be paranoid and scared forever that they're going to return. But seriously, when we find ourselves slipping, we should always trust in the Lord's power, where we can always find comfort, joy, and peace through whatever sufferings we may encounter in life. I just pray it's not bedbugs for you.